Do you ever feel like a lot of the people around you have their whole life mapped out? They know where they're going, they know what they're doing, and everything just seems to be working out for them? Hi, I'm Scarlett Classic, and welcome to Classic Advice, a mental health podcast offering guidance for resilient souls, anchoring calm amid the chaos. You look around and everybody seems to just have it figured out. And you look at your own life and you don't know where you're going, what you're doing. You don't have your life mapped out, so to speak. You don't have it figured out. That pressure can be really heavy. You know, we grow up with this idea that maybe by a certain age, we should have it all figured out, like what career we want, or relationships, or your purpose, or your direction, or, you know, what you want to do with your life. And when we don't, it can quietly start to pick away and wear on our mental health, because we don't know, and we don't know why we don't know. That timeline, that comparing yourself to what other people have got going on, that can be a very dangerous slope. that comparison trap. You know, it's easy to look around at our friends and, you know, they're hitting certain milestones, like maybe they're getting engaged, or maybe they're having kids, or maybe they've just celebrated 10 years in their marriage, or their career is just taken off, or they're just their stability, you know, they've got their house and all these things, and we compare our own life and we feel like we're behind. But we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, do we? And that comparison trap can be very dangerous, especially on social media, because a lot of things on there are like the highlight reels, like people's trips, or, you know, their good fun moments, because they're not going to share their low serious moments. They're just sharing their highlights, so to speak, and we don't see what's going on behind the scenes. And, you know, we don't see their struggles, or their doubts, or their setbacks, or, you know, the things that didn't go as planned. I try to stay very, very honest with you guys on here. And I have said many times, don't think I have it all together. I don't. I struggle keeping this show daily. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But it's important to me. So I'm doing it. I'm still in the fight. You know, so that comparison can be really dangerous, because we're not seeing the entire picture. We're not seeing the whole view. If we use comparison to be inspired, like I use comparison of other creators that do what I do, that are daily, or that podcast too, or do social media too, and they keep showing up even when they're going through hard times or whatever, that inspires me. That's a good use of comparison. But it can slide the other way very quickly, where we see that, you know, their life seems to be all together, and we feel behind because we don't have the things that they have. Maybe they're even younger than us, and we're still trying to get it together. We are still trying to figure it out. And sometimes we have all these plans, but then life doesn't go according to those plans. And we get set back even farther. When I thought my life was going to go one way, and it went in a completely different direction. Like, wow. I never would have imagined I would be where I'm at now. Because my life took an entirely different way. I never thought I'd be divorced. I'm divorced from my ex. But, when I remarried, my first marriage didn't last. I never thought that would happen. Dreams came, dreams fell apart, life took a different turn, threw some curveballs in there. Threw some really big curveballs in there. But it doesn't mean that I've failed. It just means that that life happened. And you know what? I'm really happy where my life is now. This idea that we need to have everything figured out, it's not just unrealistic. It can be very harmful to our mental health. Because it keeps us stuck almost and trying to figure it out, overthinking maybe, instead of just seeing what's gonna happen, letting life unfold, or maybe second guessing every single step that you take and not knowing what direction to go, not knowing how to make a decision because you're worried that if you make the decision, it might be the wrong decision. But sometimes, we just need to move forward and we need to give it a shot. We need to give one path a try, and it might be an absolute flop. I've been there. I've tried certain things. I've worked in many different careers. I've finally found one that I really, really love. But I didn't know I was going to love working in construction and heavy equipment when I was in high school. If I could have jumped into this right away, oh man, it would have been awesome. But I didn't realize I loved it until I tried it. And then I realized I really like this. So sometimes that clarity doesn't come from sitting still. We need to just try different things. And we might not have it all figured out. I don't have everything figured out. But I'm moving forward little by little. And that forward motion, we don't need to have a 10-year plan, because I've had those 10-year plans in the past. I mean, I have a general 10-year plan, but we can make plans, and life just throws a wrench in there and everything goes to chaos. So I've learned that sometimes, have big goals and have big dreams and do that. But because without goals and dreams, you have nothing to aim for. But be prepared that if the wrench gets thrown in there, that you can pivot, and that's okay. It's okay to pivot. So I guess what I'd like you to take away from this is, if you don't have everything figured out, if you feel like you're behind, you're not behind. You're not behind. We don't all have the same path to travel. You might want to not have a house and go backpacking for a year, and that's fine. Or whatever it may be. Like everybody's path is different. So try not to get caught up in that comparison and feeling like you're behind if you don't have everything figured out yet. Just keep trying different things. And eventually, you'll probably land on something that you really like. Or get clarity on the direction that you want to go. But not having everything figured out doesn't mean that you're broken. And it doesn't mean that you're off track. You're allowed to not have everything all figured out. And you're not behind. You're just still becoming like me. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Advice, guidance for resilient souls. May you stay anchored in what steadies you, rise resilient through what challenges you, and carry calm into whatever comes next. Take care. Love ya.